statement by Vivekananda that you teach a man, the man becomes wise, but you teach a girl, the whole family becomes educated. So that's important, very very the man profound statement that Vivekananda that made, and that has always been true. Wherever you see educated women in families, the families, the value of education is known much more, and people have started, focusing more on, growing and ensure that the whole family. So that those were older days, but now you see, even here you have 20% of the students are typically girls in every one of the institution. I have recently gone to an institution where I was very thrilled to see 80% of the students are girls. Okay, it's an institution which is in my state, Andhra Pradesh, a place called Bhimavaram. There's a institution called Vishnu Group of Institution. Okay, so they have engineering college, they have pharmacy, they have dental, but every one of the college, their condition is 80% should be girls. Okay, I mean that's an amazing concept I have seen, and as I was walking through the university, I saw a large number of female population when compared to the male population. Okay, so I'm sure, we have many, I would say, inspiring women all around us. I do not want to take any specific names because I will miss some names definitely if I start taking names. So it's important that we respect them, okay, and we learn from them and take them as inspirations, and ensure that we give all the support that, whatever support that they need. Okay, in India, women is known as Shakti, a symbol of Shakti, of power. So I'm sure that is something which is something that all of us should keep it in mind and ensure that we give all the support that all the girls around us need. I'm sure there must be a large number of activities IIIT Raichur would take up as the days go, and you have Mitali behind all of you, and definitely she will ensure that, and also Alka with you, and you have, in fact, I would say, IIIT Raichur is very unique. Out of the three faculty, two are women.
Yes.
The women power is much more than IIT Hyderabad. Okay, so poor fellow Ramesh is outpowered by two great women sitting there. So I'm sure I would like to see more and more good activities are taken up by both Alka and
Sadhana.
Sadhana,
Sadhana.
and see that we celebrate uh, uh, the, the, the power of women, and also celebrate the success of women all around us, and ensure that there is always something to learn from us, for us, from all of them. I think these are a few words from my side, and I'm sure there is. We have invited a special guests, and I'm eager to listen to all of them.
So thank you so much, sir, for your nice words. Okay, now I would like to call Professor Anamika Bhargava, and today she is our speaker, special guest actually, and she is a faculty from IIT Hyderabad. And let me give a little bit introduction about her. I know she does not need any introduction, okay? Okay, so Dr. Anamika Bhargava is an associate professor in the Department of Biotechnology, IIT Hyderabad. Dr. Anamika Bhargava was born and brought up in the Gwalior city of Madhya Pradesh. She did masters in biotechnology from the BHU, Banaras Hindu Vishwavidyalaya, or Banaras Hindu University, and she did her doctorate from the Department of the Pharmacology and the Toxicology in Burns Medical University, Australia in the year 2008. Then she joined Michelle Smith Lab at the University of British Columbia, Canada, as a postdoc fellow, where she was awarded a competitive postdoc fellowship for her project on the calcium channels by the Heart and the Stroke Foundation of the Canada. From 2011 to 13, she worked with the Dr. Julia Gorlick in Imperial College London as a research associate. She received several awards and fellowships during her career, and she has published in top tier peer-reviewed journals such as Biotechnology at IIT Hyderabad. So now I would like to welcome Dr. Anamika Bhargava, and it's a great honor for us to that today she joined us on this special day. And ma'am, stage is yours. Please say.
A very good evening to all of you who have joined here in Gmeet or in YouTube. And I want to thank faculty of IIT Raichur, PRO Mithali and Professor Murthy also to give me this opportunity. And as Professor Murthy said that there may not be a need to celebrate this day. Yeah, we need to take this as a mission forward. So I have prepared some slides I'm going to present and let's see if they're visible. So is the presentation visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So as we celebrate this day, today, the National Girl Child Day, and this is the year 2022. So we say that it is the day, but what we need is really a mission. We don't need to celebrate this as a day. So, and I want to start with a quote. Quotes are always good by Margaret Thatcher. Many of you may already know Margaret Thatcher. She was the Iron Lady of UK, United Kingdom, and she was also the first woman British Prime Minister. And uh, why she was called Iron Lady was not that she became the Prime Minister, but because she could hold the office for the longest duration in the 20th century. So what she said actually, she said that if you want something said, ask a woman. If you want something done, ask a woman. Now, if you receive this as a WhatsApp forward, maybe you want to laugh at it. But actually, there is a very strong message in this that she was referring to a subset of women who were empowered to get things done. Yeah, whom you could ask and get things done. So these women had a mission, vision, and they could get things done. And that's we want for every child, every woman in India. Now, how this day started, right? So why did we feel that there was a day we need to celebrate, we need to have a mission? So for this, there were some warnings, early warnings, and you may all be aware of those warnings actually. But I'm just going to put some facts here. So so this in India we have some surveys conducted by National Family Health Survey India. So this is an agency which actually does not for profit surveys, fair surveys for government of India, and actually these surveys dictate the policies of government of India. So these the government noted that there were only 927 females per thousand males. So that was a warning, right? So the government started thinking about it, and that's how in 2008 they started this National Girl Child Day. Now, these surveys are conducted over a decade. So now you see in 2011, even though we had a day like that, only the ratio further declined. So it didn't improve, but it has now become alarming. It was not only a warning, it was alarming. Because why? We know that in a country where females are not empowered, the country cannot progress. And we all are actually aware of the atrocities that a girl child or a teenager girl or a woman faces. But if you think about all of them, they converge somewhere to finance, right? So why girl child, why there was a female feticide? Because there were lots of costs involved there. The family could not bring both the sons and girls together. They did not have enough money, so they chose sons. So now when they grew up It was not a general trend to educate women so they could fend for themselves. So the normal trend was to get married. Now, to get married, there was this dowry, right? So everything converged to somehow to finance. Now, seeing this situation, as you all know, we need to think that this day was we started celebrating this day. So this day has specific objectives. So as you see here, all these objectives are about spreading awareness. We need to spread awareness about inequalities, rights of girls, children, and we also have very important factors such as female education, health, and nutrition. So it's a holistic approach, but it depends on what we call as awareness. Just knowing this, okay, I know that there is a girl child day, I will celebrate it. Okay, I know girl child feels problem and I need to uh, be there. But awareness means something different here. Like, when we do meditation, some people will just close their eyes and sit and think about what they're going to eat in the next hour or do tomorrow. But that's not meditation. Meditation is when you close your eyes, you become aware of your inner powers, right? You take the negative out, you get the positive in. That is the awareness. So when we become aware of these objectives, that we as an intelligent human species should be automatically inclined to do something about it. So that is true awareness that this day, this mission needs to bring. And therefore, as you see, there were three identified areas where we need to work, and therefore three ministries had to come together: Ministry of Women and Child Development, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, and Ministry of Education. So without these three coming together, the mission was not reaching its roots where it should spread in the roots of central government, but they need to be strengthened at the level of districts, states, and UTs. Without the support of local administration, without the support of local people, it's not going to work. So that's how we are going to empower our girl child. Not only save, but empower. So this is how what government can do. Government can start missions, government can make us understand, but the change needs to begin in us. So COVID pandemic is actually the best example. We had wave 1 where we had lockdown, strict lockdown, wave 2 where we had somehow restricted lockdown. But in wave 3, we are managing ourselves. We have been trained to know what to do, what not to do. So the government has sort of channelized the energies in right direction. We know what to do. So that's what needs to be done here. The government is doing enough. So the change now should also start from each one of us here. Now, just want to touch upon some nationwide initiatives. Like, I think 100% of us are now aware of the Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao scheme. So with the Beti Bachao mission, Beti Padhao was added, right? So it was not enough to just save the child. It was important that we educate the child. It was seen that only 25% of the fund was actually utilized for Betis, and 75% of that has gone in campaign. So that's not a balance that we are looking at. Okay, so and this has already been recognized and there are already measures. So and the example that this campaign, at least in the slogan, reached every nook and corner is that initially, this is just my personal observation, that usually initially we in behind trucks and autos we used to see funny slogans. Now mostly I see Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao written in the back of trucks and autos. So that means the slogan has reached, the awareness has reached. This is called as Samagra Shiksha. So Shiksha translates to education, and this is completely focused on the education of girl child. Free textbooks. If the schools are not close by, residential schools and hostels are proposed. And actually, this this Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan is also going to chip in with NEP, which is the National Education Policy, which has integrated in itself some gender equality clauses. Okay, so that is going to work in tandem with Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan so that each and every girl child can be educated and therefore they can grow up as an empowered girl child. And now when we have empowered, nurtured them as a girl child, it is needed that we follow them till they become independent. So as they grow up, there are several schemes like Kiran. This is a special scheme from Department of Science and Technology which focuses on women scientists. So these are just few of the nationwide initiatives. This is just a glimpse, and there are much more, many more schemes for girls and teenagers and women which are going to change the face of India. Now, we are aware of nationwide initiatives. We may not be so much aware of other initiatives which equally chip into the future of India, which are done by individual states. So individual states, and we do have plenty of states. They all are doing something about empowering the girl child. So now the question is not only saving, the question is empowering, educating, making them independent. So one of that which I personally really liked, and I just want to share with all of you, is the Udan Abhiyan from the Mansa district of Punjab. So this is called as Udan Sapne Di Duniya De Rubaru, which translates to live your dream for one day. So this is remarkable because these small girls, they have the opportunity to spend one day with a real professional they aspire to be. So if they want to be a doctor, they can be a doctor for whole one day and see how they work and whether it is good. So they can make an educated decision for themselves. And you see, the age which is chosen for this is 6 to 12, where usually kids these days decide what they want to become. So this is very successful and this is very creative also, and they get to really feel how they could become. Also, a big part and a big important campaign is through corporate social responsibilities. So, national companies, multinational companies, also through corporate social responsibilities, are taking care of now girl childs in India. You see the image in background is from the automobile company MG, which recently started this campaign also. So now we want to know. So there are several initiatives like this. This is just my examples which I wanted to share with you. So even so, we have plenty. So we need to be aware. We need to share. We need to act on it. Now I'm coming to what are the effects. No, so I told you the problem initially, right? So the problem was decreasing numbers. We became aware as a population. There were a lot of campaigns, a lot of fund coming in. What was the effect? So I mean, I'm a scientist. I always need to quantify. Okay, so I need to have some numbers. So again, this National Family Health Survey, this is the most recent survey of this agency. This survey was now very recently actually launched in last year, November 2021. So as I mentioned previously, this survey is very descriptive. So if we look at some indicators of women empowerment, because when the woman is empowered, our girl child will automatically get empowered. So you don't have to look at the numbers, you follow my arrows. So from right to left, every number has increased, less or more, but it has increased. The most The number which has most increased is the indicator that women is now having a bank account or savings account that they themselves use. That percent has increased. What that means, they can have job, they can operate their account which they use themselves. That means they are becoming financially independent. But there are some very low numbers, meaning way to go. Okay. Lastly, where do we stand in our responsibility to the girl child? We are trying to empower them, but has the primary goal been achieved? Have we been able to save them? Yes. For the first time ever in India, the sex ratio of the female is now higher than the male. So this is something to celebrate that we are on the way. So these are what we call in science as our preliminary data, which is positive. So we can go ahead. Things are working. So it is a very good beginning, I would say. It is not the end, it is just the beginning. Till every girl child is educated, so today I just want to request all of us that from today onwards, we will become aware. That means we will recognize and work towards the problems, and we will recognize and work towards the rights, opportunities of girls. It can begin at your home. Most of our maids are women, and they have one child or two. So we start trying to make them understand. So we adopt them, we teach them. So it can begin right from you, so that our girls with little girls with dreams can become independent women with mission, vision, and therefore India can progress. Lastly, it's not just about India. As Swami Vivekananda said, there is no chance of the welfare of the world unless the condition of women is improved. So it is not only Indian problem, but if we want the world to. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you so
Anamika. Wonderful.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for such a nice speech. Okay. Now I would like to call Professor Prempal sir and I request him to share his thought.
Thank you, Alka, for organizing. I think everything is covered. So I think whatever that Anamika has explained, I think that is true. I think he has covered each and everything. So with this, I think as Professor Murthy said, Anamika said, so there is no need to celebrate. We have to take it as a mission. I think that I think you all know that where we are now, what we have to do. So all these things are covered very nicely by Anamika with this. I don't have anything special to say. This all the best, all the women's and the girl student. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I would like to request Dr. Ramesh Kumar Jallu to share his thought on this day.
Okay, thank you, Alka, and thank you, Professor Moti, and thank you, Dr. Anamika and Dr. Mithalima. So, as you all know, recently, like I have a daughter. She is about to complete 1 year, and and my wife and I deliberately wanted a daughter actually. So we were in Europe. We were in Europe, and they'll tell their gender before birth. So when I took my wife to a doctor, and they said like it's a baby girl. Like we were like, yeah, shouting. Actually, it was the joy that we wanted actually intentionally. And I don't know, but right from the beginning, and we were on the same path actually. Like, so we wanted a baby girl. So earlier at the beginning I was not having any gender bias, but when my wife keeps on telling me, no, I want a baby girl, I want a baby girl, I don't know, my mind also tuned to have a baby girl actually. So later on, like we were on the same path. Okay. So when the doctor said that, okay, you're going to have a baby girl, we were so happy. And she's about to complete 1 year, and yeah, I'm enjoying the phase of fatherhood and all. So definitely, I feel that this is a responsibility not only towards daughters and also surrounding ours. There are many girls, so we should educate them as well. Actually, so because I see in my village there are many girl child, their parents are not enough educated actually, so they don't have proper guidance what their future should be like. So I feel like we are in an institute of national importance, and we know how education important for girls. So I request all of you. So suppose in your surroundings, if there are girl students, please guide them. So they let us show them the ways where they can go actually. Okay. So I believe this is very important, especially villages where I come from. So there the people don't give importance to girl education. Once she completes her, let's say, plus two or B.Tech, till that government will pay. And after that, they think that no, 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 we can't pay. If the girl studies more, we cannot bring a boy who is more higher studier than the girl. So this kind of mentality is there in the parents right from long back. So this mentality has to be changed from the villages actually. So I believe that somehow like surrounding my village, I'll try to educate them and I'll make them to study. So I keep on doing that. Not only girls, there are some children who are like financially background or they don't know, I mean, like what are the other ways of like going higher education. So the moment they complete plus two, they think that I'm not saying that the other job.
Good.
Thank you all.
Good.
Yeah.
Thank you so much,
See,
Ramesh.
Taking a cue from Ramesh, I want to say a few statements. No, uh, some of you know that my wife is physically challenged, so we wanted to adopt a girl child. Okay, long, long back. I'm talking of 1992 when I joined IIT Kharagpur. I went to Nirmal Hriday. I do not know if there is any Bengali here. Okay, uh, anybody knows what is Nirmal Hriday?
So I was in West Bengal. I think it is a orphanage home, right, sir?
It's
If
an
I'm not wrong.
orphanage started by
Mother Teresa.
Mother Teresa. Okay,
Yes, yes,
so I
yes.
went there and with my wife, and then we said we want to adopt a girl child. Then they said nothing doing. Your wife is physically challenged. How can she bring up a kid? So we will not give you a kid. Okay, because I mean I was very happy when they said this actually. They said that our kid has to be brought up so well that she should not become a servant maid at your home. Okay, Uh, so she should be brought up as a kid of yours. And by looking at your wife, we don't expect that she will be able to bring up a kid. Okay, so then we got two of our own kids. Of course, every time my wife conceived, we wanted a girl. Okay, so and it didn't happen unfortunately. Particularly the second time, for 9 months we gave a name to that girl. Okay, and thought it is going to be, and then we called with that name. And at the end, a boy came up, and in fact, my first son went to the extent to ask, "Where is my chalai? Where is my sister?" Okay, so ultimately, we did not have a name for this boy who was born. Okay, to that extent. But anyway, so I always feel without a girl in the family is not complete. Okay, I mean there is so much joy. I'm telling from my own experience. For example, if there was whenever my family, we are three brothers and one sister. Whenever my mother or father is sick, the first person to run and go and meet my parents is my sister, not three of us. Okay, so three of us, we tend to say we are busy. Okay, and then it is always my sister who used to run and go. She used to stay in some other city, but then come to Vijayawada when she comes to know that my either my father is sick or my mother is sick. So this is something which I at least from my experience can say only a girls can do this, and very difficult for boys to have that kind of a mindset, which needs a different type of heart. So I still miss that I don't have a girl. That's why all my students, I'm so attached to, and there are so many girls uh, in my group, typically starting from Kharagpur days. And I used to get them married. I used to search for a boy for them. Okay, so this is something that I have been doing it for 30 years now. Uh, so please, there is always a joy to see, as Ramesh told us, Anamika said, identify people around you. There are definitely underprivileged people. Okay, though today we are talking specifically about girls, but also boys. Okay, try to see what best you can do. And as I was telling, many times I say, okay, there's no living without giving. Okay, so true life is a life where you give. Okay, and give without expecting anything. Okay, so all the best to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I request Mitali ma'am to say a few words on this day.
Ideally, as Professor Murthy says, good evening to all of you. Good evening to Professor Murthy, Professor Prempal, Dr. Anamika, for being such a wonderful speaker. Actually, initially I was thinking that I bugged you by giving such a short notice invitation to you. But I was really touched by the last statistics of you. Actually, something I love numbers. Okay, somehow I'm mad about number. I'm engineer by degree just because I love number. I love mathematics, so I ended up doing engineering. So I'm happy to see that it is a 1020 by 1000. Okay. Though somehow I
This Anamika, this is the statistics of 2021, is it?
yes, between from
Wonderful.
19 to 21, 2 years.
Wow. Wow. Very good. Wonderful.
So I thought instead of I just want to share one window on this. I feel I should be doing. I don't know if I can really do some bug happen in my system that everything is fluctuating. Vibhanshu, I'm sharing one thing with you. So, as Professor Murthy has said, Sir has said that he does not have daughter, and incidentally, I do not have a daughter. And somehow I feel guilt because somehow I feel like there should be one kid because I was three kids, and I feel like somehow you emotionally do not do justice if there is a, because there is no disparity in the parents, but I feel like still the love is not in a scarcity. This is what I want to show, that Daughters Day doesn't mean exactly that women bring a powerful woman. So we both could do something in my life. I'm not saying that we have done enough in our life, but we are in a stage that we keep our head high. That credit goes to my mom, because we hail from a very small town, a typical Marwadi family where the girl has to be married by +2. My uncle's daughters are married by age 18, but we both are educated, or to the extent postgraduate, just because my mother has said that I am a postgraduate, how come my daughter can be undergrad? So that is the inspiration behind, as I keep, you cannot be, in Hindi there's a word called urin from the courtesy your mother has done for boy or girl to bring you, give you such a wonderful life. But I feel wherever I get opportunity, I'm like a fan of my mother. I do not mind saying that she's my role model. Okay, there is a recently I said, Professor Modi, you are my role model because you are a true discipline from me, and that is my target to achieve. But my mother is my first role model. She'll remain, because what she's doing, like she has done PhD. When I was doing my engineering, she was doing her BEd. After PhD, when I was doing my PGDVM, she was doing MEd at the age of 45. So I was feeling that there is no limit you have in the life as far as education is concerned and all that. And I just want to say one message that though because of that one mindset that I want a single child, incidentally I have a one son. So as Dr. Anamika has said that you can look around and do the needful. So I feel like my mates, I do not say maid servant, I say the amma who look after my son. She has only one single daughter, and that was actually I got inspired from Dr. Anamika when she said that she has only one daughter. So I feel like in given scenario, still the society has not changed that you take such a bold decision of having a single child, and that too girl. So a lot of kudos to you. So I feel like wherever I can contribute to my amma, I'll do that for welfare of her daughter in my capacity. And I feel like the society need one great change, which I want to bring, is to treat daughter-in-law like a daughter. Still, I feel I'm very blessed. My mother-in-law treat me like a daughter, but still, we are in a society where the still the daughter-in-law has to change by daughter by law. Because as I say, whenever I say that something by law is more owned by you, but as of now it is just like in law, okay, you have to do certain duty, but something to get in return, that is still has to work on. So I feel like if suppose I'm only there with my son, so I want to show maybe a role model of what should I want to go ahead with that in case the things permit, and I want to bring that change to the society. As Dr. Ramesh was telling that he is blessed to be with the daughter, I want that to bring those change that the people should not think twice to give birth to a daughter. I think so. As Professor Murthy said, Dr. Anamika said that we may not need this day to celebrate, but what is my observation is still there is a good portion of society who do not have that modern mindset for the upliftment of women. Still, there is something people expect that when even if you have a highly qualified daughter-in-law, you still feel like, oh, my daughter-in-law is not giving me a glass of water. So that required a little more modification, I think, so in the thought process. I do not believe in girls first. I want that we should be talented enough that we should not demand that please give us a reservation. Just give us enough forum that we fight hard and head to head and walk hand in hand. That is the only message I want to give. And this is the photograph I want to present, because for me the meaning of daughter comes from this. my mother and my sister. So I feel like that not necessarily the woman has to think to be uplift for the daughter day. You should, or the men, gentlemen of the society should also think gently about this topic. That should not become that we have a ratio reversed, that 918 men for 1,000 women. So it should not be go so reverse. There should be a balance in the society. So this is the message. Like there was a one day, like my father-in-law said, if men can professionally do the cleaning outside and earn the earning, then why not the men can support a woman to do the housekeeping in house? So this is a one message that there should not be. There's a one more study I just want to additionally add is that there was a one study conducted that we are biasing the kids, the babies, the baby boy and baby girl, that we said that the pink color is meant for girl and blue color meant for boys, while there is a neutral study carried out, and then they found that the girls like the toys like Batman, Superman, racing car, and the boys can also like the toys like doll. So we should not bias the society, especially the upcoming generation. They have their own understanding, so we should be neutral and let them think what is the best for that. So that is only message I want to communicate on this day. And thanks to the entire IIIT community to being such a considerate to give this thought. Because initially, like IITH, they were also planning certain event from NSS. Then I said you should have some speaker, because these are the only moment we think twice that what should we do for a society. When somebody like Dr. Anamika, they put forward certain statistic encouraging thing for us, we tend to think about what are our duties as a human being. So thanks once again to Dr. Anamika for being such a wonderful speaker, to Dr. Alka for organizing the entire event, and entire IIIT community to take this initiative forward to organize this task. Have a good day and wish you all a National Girl Child Day. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. But I really want to say one thing. You all three ladies are very beautiful.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, Dr. Alka.
So now I would like to request all my students, if they want to share any story of the girl who achieved something in her life, they can share now. So I request all the students. Yes, sir?
If you don't mind, I will leave now. I have another meeting waiting.
Okay,
Please.
sure, sir.
Thank
So
you very
so
much.
sir.
Wonderful
Thank you so
joining
much,
all of you.
Joining for
Thank
us.
you.
Thank you, sir.
So now I would like to request all the students, if they want to share any story about any girl achiever, they can share now.
Maybe Ananya can say something. She's the senior most at IIIT Raichur.
Good evening, everybody here. Good evening, Principal sir, Mitali ma'am and Alka ma'am, Ramesh sir. So if I have to talk about women empowerment, I also have to talk about some role models. And in my life, my role models have, I don't know if it's a coincidence, but they are only women. Like my mom, my grandmother, and my favorite author, J.K. Rowling. So they're all amazing human beings. I just want to talk, give an example of my grandmother. So she had a child marriage. So she was only 15 when she got married. But initially, she didn't spend much time with her husband. So she had lots of free time at home. She would take care of the household work. But at the same time, she pursued many things. So she learned Carnatic music. She learned playing veena and violin. She went on to do a PhD, double PhD in Telugu and Sanskrit. So she is a very like a big role model in my life, and I think even in our own families, we have women to look up to. We don't have to look for some other people, and that's all I want to share. She is my inspiration.
Thank you so much, Ananya. So now I request Leela and Nirdesh to announce the winner of the competitions.
Good evening, sir. Good evening. Poster making and poetry writing competition. So in poster making competition, Vivanshu Jain has achieved first rank. Ananya Matrawadi has achieved second rank, and Pratham Jain has again attained third rank. In poetry writing competition, Sinitha has achieved first rank and Utkarshika has achieved second rank. In essay writing competition, Ananya Mantrawadi has achieved first rank, Niharika Telu has achieved second rank, and Pratham Jain has a cut third rank. And the winners will get the certificates via their email accounts. Thank you.
Yes.
Congratulations to all the winners. So now,
I would like if the winners are here, I mean the poetry winners are here on the meeting, then please, if you can read your the entry which is submitted, it would be really great.
I think we can also display the posters.
Yes, we can display the posters. Shinita and Utkarshika, are you here on the meeting? Okay, just give me a second. Let me share you the poster entries also.
Even I suggest that essay which has been written and been awarded can be shared with the community so that if it has an inspirational message can reach to all.
Yes, ma'am, definitely. We will share all the entries and all the entries which are submitted by the participants on the screen. And we'll share it over the PDF also. I mean the PDF version so that they can read the entries.
Yeah. Also, you can consider maybe posting these entries if they have a good message on the social media also.
Yes, definitely we can do that. I'm sharing my screen. Is my screen visible? Nidesh, can you please confirm it?
Not.
Now it is visible.
Okay. So this is an entry submitted by Pratham Jain. And this is an entry submitted by Ananya. And the last one is the entry which I submitted. These are the three entries. Apart from these three entries, we have several more entries, and really, I would like to share all these entries to all the students and all the faculty so that they can go through it and get a little bit motivation from them. Yeah.
The poetry competition winners are not here online.
No, they are not here on the online. If anyone volunteer who want to read this.
How big are they?
Himanshu, you can read the poem.
I'm not good at vocabulary.
How big are they? Which language they are?
They are in English only.
Okay.
Let me share them on the screen once.
Okay.
Okay.
How big are they?
Let me show you. I mean, I have all the entries in my screen. Just give me a minute. Okay, Nitish, can you please confirm? Are you able to see my screen?
Yes. This is from whom?
This is from Srinita. Ma'am, it would be great if you can read it.
You're telling me?
Yes.
Can you WhatsApp me this because my screen is fluctuating, zoom in, zoom out, so I'm not difficult for me to read. If you WhatsApp me, I'll open and read.
Yes, just give me a minute. Are you able to see the entry now?
Yeah, I got it now. So I will open it directly. Yeah, so it is from Srinita, right? So it says, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So it says, oh my dear, why is your heart filled with fear? Make everything clear and prove yourself witty and clever and the bravest forever. You are not a toy to be in the hands of a boy. You are a girl born with a great goals. You are the creator of your future. and your life is always be your teacher, maybe good or maybe bad. Face it yourself with a pure heart. You may be only one but enough to answer everyone. Oh my dear, please be witty and clever and make yourself strong without any fear. Yeah, very nice.
That was really great. Here's the second entry.
Mm. You should consider posting them on social media, I guess. Are you sharing the second one?
Yes, this is the second one.
Oh, looks like they made together similar kind of a backdrop.
Yes.
Okay, and last one.
Um, Actually, there is no title, but it's the second poem, I guess.
Okay, okay.
Friend.
Just a bit. Yeah. Just a second. So, from the day she was born to the day she was gone, she was forced to be alone and was taught to adjust and move on. Even her birth was too hard and the life was too sad, with no liberty for her mind, accepted the rule of the cruel world. Only when her death came alive, she finally was able to relieve. Is it a sin to be born as a girl when she can't shine like a pearl? Why was she forced into silence and abide to the violence? The last word of her were so deep, not to be a girl again as she has no strength left to weep. I think so it is very strong message. So that says that why there is a need to celebrate such day, I guess. The
Yes.
second part or piece of her poem is something. You want to read it like Ananya or someone?
Yeah, yes, sure, sure.
Yeah, maybe you can read it.
Oh, my mother, growing withered, nearing 50s thither, as circumstances would have it, needed to learn how to drive a car, for then she could go alone to the bazaar. She had never ridden a bike in her life, and the mere thought created a strike. The first day she went, tried to turn but couldn't, and did all the things she shouldn't. But as circumstances would have it, she anyway had to learn to drive a typical. Oh, what a miracle! The poem ends here, not to serve as a piece of poetry aimed at putting down non-feminists, but as a firm message to all those who mock the gentry for their not so adept skills they dare acquire, and who tell everyone to better stay away from the aunties on the road.
Thank you, Nanya. So, Vibhanshu, any other entry you want to share?
Ma'am, others are essay, so we
Okay,
will
so I
share the
think it will
PDF
take
version.
more time. It will take more time, I think. Okay. So, thank you so much, all. It has been such an honor to be a part of this wonderful event that has been organized today. On the behalf of the IIIT Raichur, I would like to extend my heartfelt, sincere thanks to the head of the various departments like Prempal sir from the IIT Hyderabad, okay, Vibhanshu, PR, okay, Ananya also. So, so who handle all these students handles this event very nicely. A wide round of applause and thanks to all the participants who made this event a memorable one. And thank you so much to making this event successful. And finally, I would like to thank all of the present here for making the time to be helping us make this event a grand success. Thank you all. Thank you one and all. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Dr. Alka, I just want to add at the end is actually thanks actually our PR secretary for Triple IT Leela to take all the initiative to invite our speaker for today, Dr. Anamika. And obviously, we cannot thank Dr. Anamika to be kind enough to accept this invitation on such a short notice. And also to the Nirdesh, who being a first year, I told him that you need not to bug with the thought that who will host. You can see that how it seamlessly goes. There is a many people to support you. But having these two people wouldn't have taken a lead that okay, we will do the event. Okay, the event happened on its own. You would have seen.
Okay, this wouldn't have possible because initially the thought was just to keep some competition, but having we wouldn't have called Dr. Anamika, we wouldn't have got at various perspective what is happening around for a girl child, and how the other entries we have saw that there's a lot of pain in those poetries, right from what Utkarshika has written about her mother. Recently, I happened to tell one of my colleague who has commented on my simulator driving that how many accident you made. I said, then you can go and cross check the video. People were hitting me in a simulator, but still I not drove my car above them. So it is a people perception that women are weak, but I tell that women as Dr. Anamika might be knowing as a biologist that woman is powered with the two brain halves working together, which men are not blessed with. And that's the reason I guess a woman has been kept in a home because house management is equivalent to running a startup that you have to do from wealth management to the human resource management of your kid, your in-laws or whomsoever at a home, which is not a thing to be done at a office when where you have to handle only your boss or subordinate. So that's being a reason our society took a decision that home affairs, Ministry of Home Affairs is not an easy task, so let's give it to the woman, and outside world is only one task, so let's give it to the men because women are good at multitasking. So this is a message I want to communicate, that thanks to Nirdesh and Leela to coming forward today. And as I said, please see that every day special day you make some event, because like this of event can act motivation to many other, right?
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks a lot. I really
Thank you,
thank
ma'am.
you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Dr. Anamika, ma'am, seriously, I gave you the notice at the last moment and you were here. I seriously thank you.
Okay, thanks a lot, all of you.
Once again, thank you so much for joining us today on this day.
I would personally like to thank Nirdesh, Leela, and I would say the complete team. Firstly, I would really like to thank Anamika ma'am for coming on short notice. Niti ma'am for motivating us a lot in conducting the event, and especially Alka ma'am because she's the one. Whenever we got any error, we used to call Alka ma'am only. Ma'am, we got error notification here, and Nirdesh because being a first year student, he came out and showed the interest to coordinate
Thank
the
you,
event.
very.
That was really good. And Prempal sir who joined us, I mean, we know the time is very struggling over here, but thank you so much for joining us. And especially all the students who have opened their camera, we are really happy to see you all. Thank you so much for joining in the session. Thank you so much. Thank you,
I
ma'am.
think so. We should also thank Dr. Ramesh, whose talk might be motivation for many other that how lovely a daughter can be.
Exactly. Ramesh sir, if possible, yeah, I was just asking this only.
She has been.
Now this is the real celebration.
This is a true celebration of girl child.
Yes.
The last answer she's not giving me, and that's the reason I turned off my camera. Actually.
You would have kept it open, no worries.
Yeah. Hello.
So we all can say hi to her also.
Hi. Hi. Just okay. Hello. Okay.
Thank you so much. Mano, you can
Okay,
stop
thank
the
you.
live. Please. Thank you, Ramesh sir. Thank you so much. Okay.
Okay, thank you all. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you all. Look forward to many such events. Bye. Good night.
Thank you,
Good
ma'am.
night.
Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so
Yes.
much.
Bye.
Um, so this. Thank you. Ma'am, you can stop the recording. The session is closed. Thank you all. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ramesh sir. Thank you everyone to join. Manu, you can stop the streaming. Thank you. Welcome, ma'am.